Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Sabre Tactical Airsoft Group podcast. We're going to jump into a little bit of conversation. I am joined with Cam and Tom. First off, we're going to have a little bit of an advertisement. It won't last long, and we will be straight back with you. Well, thanks for watching that. So, welcome to the Sabre Tactical Airsoft Group podcast. We are joined by Cam, Tom, and I'm Al, and we've got Sabre, obviously. We're going to go into quite a few different things tonight. We're going to discuss all sorts of things. We don't know what we're going to discuss because we haven't planned anything, but is that not the best way to do it?
Oh, exactly.
Let's see what happens.
It's what we want.
So I think we'll start off, firstly, we don't want an origin story because that's for the spin-off, gents, obviously. But I think nice and briefly, lads, how the hell did we start in this absolute chaotic world and the remortgaging, the financing, and several credit cards? Cam, what happened, mate?
I just gave up on life. No, I'm joking. Started watching YouTube, so I was already like a cadet, did bits, was quite involved in kind of like militaristic things. It was always a bit of a thing for me, quite liked action films and whatnot. So it was kind of like a natural progression to find a sport or a hobby that I could get into. Paintball seemed a bit shit. So
Steady.
Yeah. So I thought, do you know what? Have a little look on YouTube. Started looking at the likes of Jet Desert Fox, Matt the Musketeer, Airsoft Alphonse, He Who Shall Not Be Named, bit of Kicking Mustang.
No.
Controversial.
The can of worms. We love you, James. Don't worry.
Yeah. But yeah, so went down that rabbit hole, started watching more and more of that, got really into it, thinking, do you know what, this is accessible for me. And then coupled with a real love of like anything action films, any kind of like action programs.
You wanted to be Rambo.
Honestly, Cambo. Cambo was the one.
Oh, you said it.
I said it. I pulled pin.
That's the first time I've ever heard him refer to himself as Cambo.
Tom, that's the first and last that he will ever refer to himself.
That's what my family refers to me as.
Listen, moving swiftly on. Tom, what happened? Although we do need to mention you have got a little bit of a fanboy issue with a certain airsofter.
Yes, all right.
About there. I reckon I'm not very good at editing, but I reckon I could put the picture there. Go on, go for it.
Where do I start? Yeah, all right, let me get out there now. Airsoft Alphonse got me into Airsoft.
Oh.
A couple of videos of his that I watched on repeat and thought, yeah, this is cool. This is like a bit of me. And then back when I was in sixth form, one of the lads was like, "Oh, we're gonna go Airsoft for my birthday," so went as a rental, got the bug instantly, and
regretted it ever since.
Now we're here doing a podcast.
Four credit cards later.
Innit?
Yeah.
So we'll go into we'll do a dead quick brief of sort of how we became and how we met, which I think is I think it's a pretty cool story. I think it's ace.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, Tom, how did we meet?
Well, I think it's worth pointing out that you two had already met by the point.
Yeah. A long time back.
So
I probably missed that big chunk out there, didn't I? Which is just a testament to the fact that we are so unorganised, it's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Oh, we'll work backwards
I've
chronologically.
known him for several years.
Poor you.
Yeah, I'm like his dad. But anyway, there you go. Story done. Moving on.
yeah, so God, was it 2 years ago now?
2 years ago.
2 years ago last summer.
Scary, innit?
Yeah. It was a BritTac events Milsim at Humber.
Good one. Very good one.
Phenomenal event.
Well run.
BritTac events.
Apologies for the noise. That's another dog that's having a scrat in the background. You finished, Walter? Thanks, mate. Sorry.
No, it's all right. So yeah, BritTac events, Humber. I'd sort of at that period of time I'd been airsofting on my Jack Jones for quite a while. Lads who I sort of went with religiously all fell out with the hobby. Decided to pursue different hobbies. So at that stage, I had a decision to make: do I hang up my kit or do I keep going? Personally, I was far too invested, should we say, monetarily to give up. So decided to go on my own for a while. And yeah, so bumped into you lot at Humber. You sort of welcome with open arms, and what can I say? You know, felt
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
We've had this discussion before, haven't we, about like WhatsApp groups, Facebook profiles, social media pages of how people become involved. So briefly before that, so Cam and I met. We met at Wigan, didn't we?
Yeah.
And
many years before.
Many years. And you know, I was attending Wigan. I do come from paintball. Yeah. Anyway, it was a job. All right, it was a job to begin with, and I got into it. And a mate of mine said, "Oh, you know, I'm going to Wigan. Let's go." There's a group, and I think they did like 2 games. I thought, no, actually, I actually went to Wigan, bought a membership, and bought a gun. I've never hired in my life.
Really?
I'm not hired.
Straight off the bat.
Straight in. Like, let's
Balls
do this.
deep.
And then obviously met Cam, and I've fathered him ever since. So
and that in itself is
Yeah,
mate,
well done.
That's why I can't give up Airsoft. It'd be like giving up a child. So we were attending Humber with BritTac, which was, I think, today, certainly from what I've attended, what a shit up game that was. That was mint. That was really good. And you came in a WhatsApp group, didn't you? You were saying, oh, you know, I am attending on my own, whatever. And we sort of said, look, come with us, tag along, and these two fell in love. So that's the origin story.
Well, the missus calls him Boyfriend Tom now.
What did she call me? I won't ask.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
answer.
maybe not.
Love you, Holly. There's Holly's shout out. Thank you. So we became quite close from that, didn't we? And things have changed, and things have moved on, and it's been a wild ride, hasn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Roller coaster, proper
roller
roller
coaster.
coaster as well.
Yeah, it's been a little bit up and down.
Teams.
But yeah, no, it's been good, hasn't it? Well, teams have come and gone, and so I think the idea of obviously we're episode 1. What are we going to talk about? We need to talk about something. I don't know. Airsoft might be a good start.
Yeah, I mean, potentially.
So, gents, from your guys' points of view, what do you want to talk about? What do the people want to know?
Well, I think obviously, like, we want to bring people into the fold, into the sport, because it'll do us well. In terms of like bringing people into the sport, in terms of getting people involved, even if it's not playing and watching a bit of content, getting invested. You know, we are people that really enjoy the hobby, but it's how can we bring people into that fold? Myself and Tom, we love a bit of kit. we do love kit.
Just a bit.
It's sharing knowledge of what's good kit, what's bad kit, what's expensive kit that's not necessarily needed in terms of expensive kit. So it's finding out, you know, what people want, and I suppose we'll learn as we go along, but it's in terms of, you know, how can we help that wider community? How can we bring people into the fold? How can we educate them on you know, the mistakes? We've all made mistakes. We've all bought shit products, but we've also bought really cheap products. So we think, fuck you know, that was an absolute steal.
Well, we've had this conversation, haven't we, about buying shit and about, you know, there is decent kit out there, but there's unnecessary.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
don't need to spend that kind of money. But the perfect story I always give to people is the speed loader situation. The wind up speed loader business. And there's options on, I don't know, Amazon and eBay and all that kind of jazz. And they're about, what, 20, 25 quid each, something like that?
Around that point.
Yeah.
Now, you tell me, when was the last time you saw one of them with a handle? The first thing to go is the damn handles. They can't even screw a bloody handle up properly, can they? So,
No.
All right, so the best example of it, so you spend 25 quid on the speed loader and you think, oh, this is amazing. Because it does, it loads your mags.
Bombs your mags
nice and
well
quick.
fast.
Yeah, it's well quick. And then, 2-3 games down the line, it breaks. So they go and buy another one. So you've now spent 50 quid.
Yeah.
Name drop. What's an Odin nowadays? 40 quid?
Something like that.
For an Odin speed loader?
I don't think it's mega expensive.
So actually, in the long run, it's cost you a tenner.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the second one, you're going to say, do you know what? I've had enough of this. I'm going to buy an Odin. Now you've spent 90 quid or 100 quid or whatever.
Yeah.
Buy an Odin. Trust me. And it's things like that. And I think that's what we can look into. And we will tell people, don't buy this shit. We've already bought it.
Well, yeah, we've been in
Comms. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What a minefield. What an absolute rabbit hole of utter nonsense is comms. Some of the shit I see on Facebook, you're like, dude, what are you talking about? And again, we've bought the cheap PTTs, the cheap radios, the cheap headsets. None of them work. So buy it doesn't cost a fortune. What was your headset? We will show some kit eventually anyway.
I think about 20 quid off AliExpress.
And the
But
shit's up.
I've had TRI 152s, PR 152s. I spent like 400 quid on a radio, and something that's like 50 quid, 20 quid. Like
it was shit. It drove me insane, that radio.
Oh, that radio was It was
absolutely
a little bit
I
much.
There's obviously levels to it, isn't there? That radio is good for its intended purpose.
If other people are using that, then amazing.
If you're all on the same playing field, on the same hymn sheet,
amazing.
It's not worth it.
No,
but
exactly.
for what we do in Airsoft, the likes of comms, we're not 50 miles away from each other, are we? We're 50 yards.
Exactly. Well, like you say, we're fighting a 50-yard war.
Exactly. I've always said it. It's a different thing. But so we'll go into things like that. We'll have a look at what is it to make people's lives a little bit easier in Airsoft. They don't need to worry about things. Buy it once, leave it at that, and don't buy the shite.
Exactly. It's like no bullshit. We want people to have the best experience without having to make the same mistakes that we made.
Absolutely. And you can, I say to myself every week, I say, right, not buying anything Airsoft related this week. And then I'll be bored. I'll go on my phone and go, well, let's have a look what's talking about. And that's it. Before I know it, I'm knee deep in Klarna, ClearPlay, Pay, whatever it is, PayPal paying 3. There's that much shit coming out of my bank every week. I'm like, oh my God, what's next?
I tell you
it's mad.
Honestly, the devil is WhatsApp. The amount of chats I'm in that I go,
man.
Mate, I've just bought a tourniquet holder for a fucking Safari Land, thinking, I don't need that, but it's going to look cool as shit. So, tell you what, I'm going to add that. I think I've just bought, there's a box of kit that you guys can't see. I paid 45 quid for a box of kit just to get one jacket that I thought, this is well worth 45 quid.
There is some Gucci kit you can get your hands on.
There
is some
but it's knowing the right people, knowing the right place.
Yeah.
There's always someone selling something.
Absolutely.
Tends to be me.
Tends to be
I
hoard it. I just hold on to it.
You hoard it, I sell it.
I don't have any storage in this house, and honestly, my living room is being overrun by Airsoft. It's just, the majority is crap.
Yeah,
I've started using name drop Vinted, but I'll just put that on and see what happens. And it's actually become a bit addictive, to be fair.
It's awful, isn't it?
I sold the U-Backs the other day for like 8 quid. And honestly, I wanted to buy a bottle of champagne for like 40 quid. It was just, I've sold it. Right, honestly, I've got shitloads of money. Then I've got to wrap it up. Then I've got to send it. I've got to dick about with all that. But I really enjoyed it, so I don't even know what I've got up for sale now.
Honestly, I'm
pretty sure I've advertised the dog.
My entire wardrobe on Vinted.
Off you go. Sod off.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's kit out there. There's all sorts of stuff. So what I think, episode 1 we wanted to use as an example of what are we going to talk about? Well, what we want the real truth, and this. None of us are paid to do this. We don't want to be paid to do this. What we want to do, I'm saying this unless you boys say differently, but we want the real truth. And there are, I'm not going to name drop anybody because I don't truthfully know. I don't know the ins and outs because I don't get involved in it. But there is bound to be reviewers out there that are being paid by companies or are benefiting from it. Maybe not directly paid, maybe that's a bit harsh, but they're going to benefit from it.
It's all the sponsored links, like click on this ad to find this product. But we're not paid by.
Well, mate, if somebody sends me a free gun, I'm not going to give them a shit review, am I?
No, exactly.
It's a free gun.
Exactly. But we're at the point where we want to bring people into the kind of the sport, and we're doing this because we don't really get to see each other that much. Yeah. We want to bump into each other a little bit more. We want to create time for each other. We're mates at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And we're mates through this hobby. This is our common denominator.
I would 100%, Tom. You're definitely you. I would not be mates with you without Airsoft.
No, exactly. No. Exactly. No, you wouldn't.
I'm only joking. Of course I would.
But
I'd be mates with you.
No, thank
100%. Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like a nervous touch there.
Twitching slightly. Yeah. But that's the thing. Like we want to spend time together. We want to be able to make something, but it's seeing a tangible thing that we can go, well, we've actually helped X amount of people listen to the podcast and get into the sport that we genuinely love.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Airsoft is a growing sport still, isn't it? It's
in its infancy.
Absolutely, and I mean, paintball's got its arena, it's got its followers, it's got its people. Even within paintball, there's tournament paintball, woods ball, mag-fed paintball. That it kind of, to me, is already established. It's there. And I know there is a little bit of hatred between the two, but it's the same concept. It's the same idea. And the Airsoft side of things, I feel like is growing. And there are more and more people getting into it. There's younger people getting into it, which we want to help them. We don't want them. All right, target rich environment is always great for anybody. Yeah. Which again is what we focus on at Optac with the beginner days.
Yeah,
is to get them people in alongside trusted regular players that are not going to go, oh yeah, target rich environment. They're going to say, look, if you've got a problem, come and see me. We had a game last weekend. And there was a young kid there, he had a higher gun, and it was his mag, I think it was his mag, he wasn't winding his mag up, basically. So the high caps, we'll go through high caps of how they need to be wound and things like that. And he wasn't winding it. And I could hear it from the other side. You can always hear a dry firing gun. Yeah. You can hear it. Oh, God, it's so distinctive. And I'm shouting across, wind your mag, and he couldn't help it. And he couldn't do anything about it. He didn't know what he was doing. And one of our regular players went over and wound his mag for him. And as I got there, the guy, the kid had wound this mag. Next minute, shot 2 people. Oh. And he was buzzing, man. It honestly felt like he just won the Third World War, this kid. It was like, this is amazing.
It's the best thing ever. When you get shot by a rental and you go, I mean, he had the drop on me.
Oh, mate, he
dropped fair play to him.
He dropped 2 of them, and it was amazing. He shot the pair of them, and it was a dead fair kill. He shot them once each, proper, full-on, rifled it. Shouldered his rifle, pop, done. And then he ran like Johnny Rambo to the next building and got lit up. And he thought it was the kid was like 14. Thought it was absolutely awesome. I'd have cried. Honestly, I'm watching these bees fall off him like a fucking heavy snowfall. They battered him, and he thought it was ace.
That's the thing.
Little things like that. It was a moment for me, and it's what makes my life enjoyable on a Saturday or a Sunday to go, yeah, that was sick. And also annoying that I didn't video it, because that would have been cool. Well, yeah, just little things like that. So that's what our beginner days are aimed at. Yeah. We are changing them. So we're going to, whereas we do like every other week, every other Saturday, we have a beginner's day. One of them we're going to rebrand to just a general half day of just come and beat the shit out of each other for half a day. And honestly, finishing at 1:30, it's ace. It really is.
Well, having a game day that short, you can just put everything into that bit. Like when we do the mill sims at like 12, 16...
24.
24 hours.
Oh, yeah,
that Humber game was 24 hours, but Jesus Christ, did I feel it the next week?
Well, again, I think we can do an episode. We will do an episode on what are the differences in each level of gameplay.
Yeah.
So what's a beginner's day about? What's a skirmish day? Battle sim, mill sim. What's the differences in the hourly play? The 8, 10, 12, 24, 36, 48. What does that toll take on your body?
Exactly, and I think it's the case of like, yes, we're gonna obviously push the site that we love the most, but what's the difference between that site where you could go out to a forward operating base on a bat sim and not come back until the end of the game?
Absolutely,
and what's the difference between playing another site that we love, like in Oldham? A CQB base site where it's literally half an hour, then you get back, you bomb up.
Yeah,
like rationing rounds, being able to carry everything. You've got water. How many times have we sat in a forward operating base and I'm like, Tom, I've got no water, mate. And he goes, you're a cock. You're a cock. I've got none either. But how many times have you gone, I've got Dr. Pepper, that's it.
Have you come out with your day sack? No, but I've got my e-cig in my pocket.
Exactly. I mean, for you it's an e-cig, but for us it's like, I've got a packet of Haribo's.
The 2 lads that they always come to the Optac Battle Sims, and they go out all day. They literally put a day sack on.
These boys are unreal.
They're coming.
Are they coming to ours?
They're coming to Blackout. And they get have a day sack on. And the boy, listen, boys, shout out because they know exactly who they are. You don't see them for the rest of the day. And every now and again, I noticed the last event where you guys were commanding, and I was listening to your comms, and they just popped up out of nowhere. It was like, yeah, we're just watching the enemy. Like, dude, where did you just come from? Like,
we didn't even know where they were.
We don't know where they are. But them boys, this is the thing when you get into your bat sims, your mill sims, these boys are playing a recce troop.
Yeah,
absolutely to the nth degree. They are laid down. They're just watching.
But when you're mooching across 230 acres, like that's it's some unreal. Mooch.
And them boys, they come back and have you seen their like Garmin's and stuff? And they're like, yeah, we've just done like 50,000 steps. Yeah. And you're like, sorry, you've done what? And they're like, yeah, we've basically done 2 marathons.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're sat down just watching people.
You know that last event, the guy was carrying. He's going to message me and tell me I'm wrong. It was an M249 HPA.
Yeah.
You know, they're not carrying like polymer weapons.
No, they're carrying full steel weapons.
This thing
full
was...
day stacks. They had the Northern Irish DPM Bergens.
Oh yeah.
They were going kit. On the index of the last event. They just popped up out of the corner. Well, sorry about that, gents and ladies.
And anything in between.
Anything in between. We had a little bit of an issue there, but we're back. We're back. And better. So Tom was talking about his HPA, or I should say, I was asking him about his HPA. We were talking about gas agents and all that. Actually, I think we just do an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
that's probably the best thing to do.
Like, between us, we've got gas, HPA. I mean, God, we've got some guns between us. That's scary. We've got everything we can possibly go through. So, yeah I think let's not stick to that. Let's do an episode on everything that we've got. Yeah. Let's get the guns out. Let's show everybody what we've got. Let's show everybody the differences between. I mean, even like you've got an MP7, I've got a G5.
Yeah.
Even the magazines are different. The style, the design, and yeah. So I think
even if we go through the classes of weapons,
like
absolutely. You would on Warfare.
Let's do it. So let's go to that. So apologies to Tom for absolutely stopping you on your little HPA journey.
In his tracks.
We're gonna dedicate an episode to you, Tom. So. What are we going to talk about again? So we're going to look at kit. Kit's a big thing. I think low burn equipment, because truthfully, I think here there are three so different people. I think it's great. Certainly on a physical level, I'm talking.
Yeah.
So we've got Cam. You're like the fitness freak. You like carrying weight. You like to
beast myself.
I can't even lift it out of the car, let alone run around and date it. You've got that. You wear certain things for a reason.
Yeah,
and you like to carry the weight behind you. Tom, you are a bigger gentleman. You're a big lad, and there are things out there that don't fit, that aren't suited to you, that are suited to other people. But yet there is other things that does suit you, and there are. I mean, plate carriage is the big one, and there's a picture that goes around. Right, I'm gonna have to find it. I'll try and put it on screen. And I'm not saying you're anywhere near this level, but this dude he must be about 4 ton.
Right. He's got a commercial driver's license.
And honestly, he's wearing a plate carrier.
The size of a teacup.
And when you actually think about what is the design of that plate carrier? Well, obviously it's to protect your vital organs, isn't it? That ain't protecting shit, mate. You're going to protect a nipple, and that's about it.
Just one.
So, there's things out there, and like big lads, I get it. They're struggling to find these things, and actually, you found them, but the Gucci. Like, they look sick.
You do have some sexy kit.
He has got some sexy kit.
Oh yeah.
So then, for myself, I wear certain things because of health, and we'll go into everything. We'll go into detail about it. There's cancer involved. There's chemo involved. There's the repercussions of chemo involved, and there is recovery and the reasons behind everything. There's reasons why Tom you wear things. Cam, there's reasons why you wear things. Yeah. And I think it's great. I think actually between the three of us, we could cover the entirety of an airsoft community.
Yeah, maybe by the speed softers.
Why do we have to? We agreed not to say that.
The S word.
Listen, even speed softers need heroes.
Exactly,
right?
and that's what we're here for.
They all grow up eventually to become millisomers.
Yes.
Exactly.
Is that what we are? Are we?
We're airsofters in the broadest of terms.
Gents, I just like slinging my white plastic balls at people. It's as simple as that.
I mean, after the chemo?
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
I mean, I made the joke. I don't know how far down that joke I want to go, but...
I've got one ball. He can't joke about it now, because I've made it very serious.
Uchenuk Bolikov?
He's horrible, isn't he? Ladies and gents, on that note, thank you very much for watching. We will be back next week for episode number 2. We're going to look at kit. We're going to look at all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment.
Did we come up with a name?
Swordplay.
Swordplay.
Cheers, guys.
Swordplay. Thank you very much. Good night.
I believe there's 7 levels of pleasurization, I believe is what they say in the booklet.
I think I'm at about level 4.
What can we get to at level 7?
I don't know if you can hear it knocking on the table, but I think I'm about level 4. They are actually